Have you ever found yourself walking into a room and suddenly forgetting why you're there? Or maybe you struggle to recall a name that's just on the tip of your tongue. It's a frustrating feeling, isn't it? We often brush these moments off as just getting older, a normal part of life after 60. But what if I told you that some of the foods we enjoy every day, the very ones that bring us comfort and joy, might actually be silently working against our brain health, making these frustrating moments more common? It's a painful reality to consider, that something so seemingly innocent could be causing damage right under our noses. For years, we've been told to watch our cholesterol, our blood pressure, our waistlines. But less often do we hear about the direct impact of certain delicious foods on our cognitive function, our memory, and our mental sharpness as we age. In this video, we're going to uncover 6 surprising foods that, despite their taste, can quietly damage your brain after 60. We'll explore why they're harmful and, more importantly, what simple changes you can make to protect your most vital organ. Watch to the end for something that will truly surprise you about a common kitchen staple. Let's dive right into the first culprit, one that many of us simply can't resist: refined sugars. Now, I'm not just talking about the spoonfuls you add to your tea or coffee, but the hidden sugars lurking in so many processed foods, from your breakfast cereal to that seemingly innocent yogurt. And of course, all those delightful pastries and desserts. When we consume too much refined sugar, our bodies are essentially flooded with glucose, while glucose is our brain's primary fuel. An excess of it can lead to a cascade of problems. Think of it like a finely tuned engine. It needs fuel. But too much fuel, especially the wrong kind, can cause it to sputter and eventually break down. In our brains, this sugar overload can lead to something called insulin resistance, not just in our bodies, but in our brains too. When brain cells become resistant to insulin, they struggle to absorb glucose, effectively starving them of the energy they need to function optimally. This can manifest as brain fog, slower thinking, and even impaired memory. It's not just about energy, though. High sugar intake also fuels inflammation throughout the body, including the brain. Chronic inflammation is a silent enemy, eroding neural connections and making our brains more vulnerable to degenerative diseases. Imagine a delicate network of wires. Inflammation is like rust slowly eating away at those connections, making communication harder and less efficient. So, that sweet treat might give you a temporary burst of pleasure, but it's contributing to a slow, steady decline in your brain's resilience over time. Instead of reaching for sugary snacks, try satisfying your sweet tooth with natural options like berries, which are packed with antioxidants that protect your brain cells, or a piece of fruit. You'll be surprised how quickly your taste buds adapt, and your brain will thank you for the shift towards less inflammatory, more nutrient-dense choices. Even a small handful of unsalted nuts and a few dried apricots can be a wonderfully satisfying and brain-friendly alternative to a sugary biscuit. It's about making conscious choices, one meal, one snack at a time, to nourish your brain instead of subtly harming it. Now, let's consider another sneaky saboteur that often goes unnoticed in our daily diets: trans fats, or as they're often listed on ingredient labels, partially hydrogenated oils. These are man-made fats, created through an industrial process that adds hydrogen to liquid vegetable oils to make them more solid and extend their shelf life. You'll find them lurking in many fried fast foods, commercially baked goods like cakes, cookies, and pastries, microwave popcorn, and even some types of margarine. For years, these fats were praised for their convenience and taste. But the scientific community now largely agrees trans fats are incredibly detrimental to our health, and particularly to our brains. They don't just raise your bad cholesterol and lower your good cholesterol, contributing to heart disease. They also wreak havoc on your brain cells. Trans fats promote inflammation throughout the body, including critical areas of the brain involved in memory and cognitive function. This inflammation can damage the delicate membranes of brain cells, impairing their ability to communicate effectively. Think of your brain cells as tiny, intricate computers. Trans fats are like a corrosive virus, slowly breaking down their protective casings and making them vulnerable to attack. Studies have linked high intake of trans fats to a higher risk of cognitive decline, memory impairment, and even an increased risk of dementia. It's a frightening thought that something so common in our food supply could be quietly eroding our mental sharpness. The good news is that many countries have banned or severely restricted trans fats, and food manufacturers are slowly removing them from products. However, it's still crucial to read food labels carefully and look out for partially hydrogenated oil on the ingredient list. The best way to avoid these harmful fats is to cook at home more often, using healthy oils like olive oil or avocado oil, and to choose fresh, unprocessed foods. When you're out, opt for grilled or baked options instead of fried ones. Making these small shifts away from hidden trans fats can offer a significant protective benefit to your brain, preserving its function and vitality for years to come. Remember, every decision you make about what you put on your plate has a direct impact on your brain's future. Moving on from those hidden sugars and dangerous fats, let's talk about something many of us enjoy on a regular basis, especially during celebrations or after a long week: alcohol. While a glass of red wine is often touted for its heart benefits, the truth is, excessive alcohol consumption can have a profoundly negative impact on your brain, especially as you age. When we talk about excessive, we're generally referring to more than 1 drink per day for women and more than 2 drinks per day for men. Regular, heavy drinking can lead to a condition known as alcohol-related brain damage, which can manifest in a variety of ways, from memory problems and impaired judgment to difficulties with balance and coordination. Alcohol is a neurotoxin, meaning it's directly toxic to brain cells. It can reduce brain volume, essentially causing your brain to shrink over time, particularly in areas critical for memory, learning, and executive function. Imagine your brain as a vibrant, bustling city. Excessive alcohol is like a slow-acting poison that causes buildings to crumble and communication lines to go down. Beyond the direct toxicity, alcohol also interferes with the absorption of essential nutrients, particularly B vitamins like thiamine, which are crucial for brain health. A deficiency in thiamine, common in heavy drinkers, can lead to serious neurological disorders like Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome, characterized by severe memory loss and confusion. Furthermore, alcohol disrupts sleep patterns, which are vital for memory consolidation and brain detoxification. When your brain doesn't get enough quality sleep, it can't effectively clear out waste products that accumulate during the day, further contributing to cognitive decline. Now, I'm not saying you have to become a teetotaler overnight. The key is moderation. If you enjoy a drink, try to stick to recommended limits and always ensure you have alcohol-free days. Consider opting for non-alcoholic alternatives at social gatherings, or simply choose water with a slice of lemon. Small, consistent efforts to reduce your alcohol intake can make a substantial difference in preserving your brain's health and sharpness as you age. Our next brain-damaging food category might come as a surprise to many, especially those who grew up enjoying them as quick, convenient meals: processed meats. I'm talking about foods like bacon, sausages, hot dogs, deli meats, and prepackaged ham. While they might be delicious and easy to prepare, these meats are often laden with unhealthy ingredients that are detrimental to your brain health. One of the main culprits is the high content of saturated fats and sodium. While our bodies need some fat, the excessive saturated fats found in processed meats can lead to inflammation and contribute to the buildup of plaque in arteries, including those supplying blood to the brain. This reduced blood flow can starve brain cells of oxygen and nutrients, leading to impaired cognitive function over time. Think of it like a garden hose. If it gets clogged, the water flow slows, and the plants don't get what they need. Your brain is no different. It needs a constant, clear supply of blood. But beyond fats and sodium, processed meats often contain nitrates and nitrites, which are used as preservatives and to enhance color and flavor. When these compounds are consumed, they can form harmful substances called nitrosamines in the body. Nitrosamines have been linked to increased oxidative stress and inflammation, both of which are major drivers of brain aging and neurodegenerative diseases. Some research even suggests a link between high consumption of processed meats and a higher risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. Moreover, many processed meats are also high in advanced glycation end products, or AGEs, which accumulate in the body as we age and can accelerate the aging process. Including in the brain, they contribute to inflammation and damage proteins, including those vital for brain function. So, that convenient bacon sandwich or deli meat wrap might be speeding up your brain's aging process without you even realizing it. Instead of processed meats, try to incorporate lean, unprocessed protein sources into your diet, such as chicken, fish, legumes, or plant-based options like tofu or lentils. If you absolutely love bacon or sausage, try to think of them as an occasional treat rather than a daily staple. And look for brands that offer lower sodium and nitrate-free options. Though fresh is always best, making this switch can significantly reduce the inflammatory load on your brain and help keep your cognitive abilities sharp. It's a simple change that offers profound benefits. Now, let's turn our attention to something that forms the foundation of many meals, yet can be silently eroding your brain health: refined grains. Think about it. White bread, white pasta, white rice, many breakfast cereals, and virtually all those yummy baked goods like cakes and cookies. These foods start as whole grains, but undergo a processing journey that strips away the most nutritious parts: the bran and the germ. What's left is primarily the endosperm, which is mostly starch. This refining process might make the food softer, give it a longer shelf life, and appeal to a broader palate. But it comes at a significant cost to your health, especially your brain as you age, when you eat refined grains. Your body quickly breaks down that starch into glucose, leading to rapid spikes in blood sugar. These sudden surges in blood sugar trigger a rush of insulin, which over time can contribute to insulin resistance, a condition we touched upon earlier with refined sugars. Just like with sugar, when brain cells become insulin resistant, they struggle to get the fuel they need, leading to brain fog, difficulty concentrating, and a decline in cognitive function. Imagine your brain running on a roller coaster of energy, huge highs followed by sharp lows, rather than a steady, consistent power supply. This constant fluctuation puts a strain on your brain. Beyond blood sugar issues, refined grains are also largely devoid of fiber, B vitamins, and beneficial antioxidants that are crucial for brain health. Whole grains, on the other hand, retain these vital nutrients, and their fiber content helps to slow down sugar absorption, preventing those dramatic blood sugar spikes. Furthermore, the lack of fiber in refined grains can negatively impact your gut microbiome, the trillions of bacteria living in your intestines. Emerging research highlights a strong connection between gut health and brain health, often referred to as the gut-brain axis. A healthy gut microbiome can produce beneficial compounds and neurotransmitters that support brain function, while an imbalanced gut, often fueled by diets high in refined grains, can contribute to inflammation that extends to the brain. So, what's the simple switch? Opt for whole grains whenever possible. Choose whole wheat bread and pasta, brown rice, oats, quinoa, and barley. These foods provide a steady release of energy, are rich in brain protective nutrients, and support a healthy gut. It might take a little getting used to the different texture and flavor, but your brain will thank you for the stable energy and the abundance of nutrients it receives. It's about nourishing your brain with every bite. And finally, for that surprising food item that many people turn to in an effort to be healthier, thinking they're making a smart choice: artificial sweeteners? Yes, you heard that right. Many of us swap sugar for sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, or saccharin in our coffee, diet sodas, and sugar-free snacks, believing we're doing our bodies a favor by cutting calories and avoiding blood sugar spikes. However, the science is increasingly showing that these artificial compounds are far from innocent when it comes to our brain health, especially as we get older, while they don't contain calories or sugar. Artificial sweeteners can actually confuse your metabolism. Your body registers a sweet taste and anticipates a sugar rush. But when it doesn't arrive, this can disrupt the delicate balance of your metabolic system, potentially leading to increased cravings for real sugar and affecting how your body processes glucose. This metabolic confusion isn't good for consistent brain energy. More significantly, research is pointing to a concerning impact on our gut microbiome, that vast community of bacteria in our intestines that we just discussed. Artificial sweeteners can alter the composition of your gut bacteria, reducing beneficial species and promoting the growth of less desirable ones. This imbalance can lead to inflammation and produce compounds that negatively affect the gut-brain axis, potentially influencing mood, cognitive function, and even increasing the risk of neurological conditions. Remember, a healthy gut is intimately linked to a healthy brain. If your gut is out of whack, your brain can suffer too. Some studies have even linked the regular consumption of artificially sweetened beverages to an increased risk of stroke and dementia. Independent of other risk factors, the exact mechanisms are still being explored, but the accumulating evidence suggests that these sugar alternatives are not the harmless substitutes we once thought they were. They might satisfy your sweet tooth without the calories, but they come with potential hidden costs for your brain. So, what's the alternative instead of artificial sweeteners? Try to retrain your palate to enjoy less sweetness overall. If you need a touch of sweetness, opt for natural sources in moderation, like a tiny bit of honey, maple syrup, or stevia extract, which comes from a plant. Better yet, try flavoring your drinks with natural additions like lemon, lime, or cucumber. For snacks, lean into the natural sweetness of fruits. It's a journey of gradual reduction, but ultimately, your brain will thank you for getting off the artificial sweetness roller coaster. So, we've walked through 6 common foods that, despite their delicious appeal, can quietly but significantly damage your brain after 60. We started with the pervasive issue of refined sugars and how they lead to insulin resistance and inflammation, then delved into the dangers of trans fats, those hidden industrial oils that wreak havoc on our cell membranes. We then explored how even moderate, but certainly excessive, alcohol consumption can literally shrink your brain and impair vital functions. Following that, we discussed processed meats and their concerning connection to inflammation and oxidative stress, and the often overlooked impact of refined grains on blood sugar stability and gut health. Finally, that surprising revelation about artificial sweeteners and their potential to disrupt your gut microbiome and confuse your metabolism, showing that even healthy alternatives aren't always what they seem. It might feel a bit overwhelming, hearing about so many common foods that could be quietly undermining your cognitive health. But remember, this isn't about perfection. It's about making conscious, incremental changes. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Start small. Perhaps choose one food to limit or replace this week. Maybe you'll swap your white bread for whole wheat, or opt for water instead of a diet soda. Each conscious choice, no matter how small, sends a powerful message of care and commitment to your brain. Your brain is an incredible organ, capable of amazing resilience and adaptation. By fueling it with nutrient-dense, whole foods, and avoiding these silent saboteurs, you are actively investing in its long-term health and vitality. Imagine the clarity of thought, the sharp memory, and the vibrant mental energy you can reclaim and maintain by simply being more mindful about what you eat. This isn't just about avoiding decline. It's about thriving, maintaining your independence, and enjoying every moment with a clear and active mind. We are all on this journey together, navigating the challenges and opportunities of aging. Your experiences, your insights, and your questions are incredibly valuable. So, please, share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you noticed a difference in your cognitive function after changing your diet? What healthier swaps have you found that you love? Your wisdom could inspire someone else. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It helps us know we're providing content that truly matters to you. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more practical, empowering advice designed to help you live your best life at every age. You deserve to feel sharp, vibrant, and full of life. No matter how many candles are on your birthday cake, keep learning, keep growing, and keep nourishing that amazing brain of yours.